This is quality content. Dude is my age. Marcus is my age, and he's got like 50 years of fucking experience.
Because what the fuck out of her chest.
Louis Armstrong was the midwife that helped birth ska from the cloaca of punk.
You guys heard it here first at LTN Media. There's packs of wild stray dogs that control most of the major cities. Anytime you just hear, almost the lava, lava. It's like, oh shit, it's about to go down.
What's going on, everybody? Welcome to Less Than Normal. Ask me about the secret fourth hole. Chris?
Nobody ask him. Please, nobody ask. Oh my god, hello everyone and welcome to Less Than Normal. I am Chris, and joined with me as always are basically my internet siblings, Bree and Dave. What's going on, guys? Dave out here ooh-wooing already.
Ooh-woo with me.
Ooh-woo. Ooh. If I ever next time I write a metal song, the intro is just gonna be me growling ooh-woo, and it's just gonna hit the filthiest breakdown.
I was about to do it correctly, and then I heard y'all go deep with it, and I was like, I'm just not going to.
Yeah,
authentic. Ooh woo.
ooh fucking woo.
Ooh fucking woo.
Dave out here playing Bowser. I'm out here doing metal screams. That's a little column A, love column B. Before we get started, I want to give a shout out to, as always, Miles on Motorsports. You can go over to 959watd.com and hear my lovely voice in my newly revamped branching out segment where you can hear me talk about radio or talk about racing on the radio. What's up, squad? How's everyone's week been?
Fenn's still alive, but he's barely breathing. I've had an interesting week. I'm not going to talk about the bad. There's been a bunch of. It's been a
week.
There's some cool stuff that I'll talk about. Been playing a lot of Suicide Squad Kills the Justice League.
Yep.
I've almost finished the main story of that game. I'll actually be talking a little bit about that later because there's kind of a lot to talk about. I bet On Call kicked your ass last night. For those of you who don't know, Fenn works in IT. And he's been on call this week. Unrelated to him being on call, the CrowdStrike thing happened, which he wasn't as affected by as some other people.
Mm-hmm.
But, man, my heart goes out to IT professionals all over the world because the only way to fix that shit is to manually go to the device that's fucked.
Yeah.
Ooh, that's rough. But yeah, so did that. There was something else. Oh, yeah, Saturday, we released the first episode of Bard Files. We're actually going to talk about that a little later.
Mm-hmm.
Because it's Quill.
It's Quill. It's Star-Lord. Hold on, Dave's got to leave the room. He's going to come back, and we're going to try it again. Take two, marker.
It's cool.
There it is.
Um,
Yeah, shout out to our buddy Maul, who was a part of it too. Maul has been, I made the joke, he's been like our utility player for LTN Media the past couple months. He's filled in on Pucked Up to round out the end of season 2 for us. Obviously he's doing some it seemed like a good idea at the time stuff. So he's
he's
kind
been
of
on less than normal. He was actually one of our
has.
first guests, I think.
He was, yeah. So he's kind of our he hasn't completed the grand slam of LTN yet. He hasn't been on Double D Estrogen Power Hour.
But that's because
they've
his
never
tits
had
aren't big enough.
That's fair. They've
His-
never actually
his-
even
his-
had a guest.
Yes, they have, but we won't talk about it.
Oh, that's right. Yes.
They haven't had a human being as a guest.
Fair. Super fair.
I will explain. I will explain to Bree in chat. What the fuck is my words today?
English is hard.
Words are hard, bro. Words are hard. Yeah.
Before Chris even starts talking about it, I'm going to take a guess that the #1 box office slot is the movie that released this weekend called Deadpool and Wolverine.
No, because that movie doesn't come out until Friday.
Oh, I thought it came out last Friday. Oh, it was last Friday,
Yeah.
but for like select screenings. It wasn't even
No,
in select
not-
theaters.
It just premiered at did the world premiere thing earlier this week, but yeah.
Right. Yeah.
we
the
skipped over
reviewer
Bree's
shit
week.
has happened.
Bree, how was your week?
I'm off for the next 5 days.
Fuck yeah.
The only thing getting me through this week is the fact that I don't have to go back to work until Tuesday.
Dude, that's how I felt over the past weekend. I was out at the Premier Lacrosse League, their event in Connecticut. It was really cool. I got to see friends of mine from Buffalo. Actually, one of them is Rosie Girl, my friend Marissa, who has done stuff with LTN in the past. But that was cool. I got to go while we were waiting for the games on Saturday. One of the like camera operator guys was talking to my niece and like giving us like roster sheets and stuff. Actually invited us up there once I was talking to him about how I have a broadcasting degree and how I got to learn all that stuff. Invited us up to the press boxes and actually showed my niece and her friend all of the tech equipment, how the broadcasts work and all of that stuff. So super, super thankful for the PLL for that sort of access and just how very kind they were. Got to meet a lot of family members of pro players, which is cool. So yeah, dude, shout out to the PLL. I see you guys have seen us do vlogs with that. You've seen myself do lacrosse content. There is no sports league like the Premier Lacrosse League that grants their fans that kind of access to kind of everything. So that was super fun, and I look forward to maybe going to the championship game this year, depending. And if not, we'll be hitting up a couple different venues next year. So that'll be a good time. Yes, moving into the top box office. Seeing as it's not Deadpool and Wolverine, does anyone else want to take a guess on what it could possibly be?
I saw a tweet that said what the top box office was, but because of the movie that came out last week, I don't know if it's true. I saw something say that Despicable Me 4 was at the top.
It's not.
Twisters, then.
Twisters, which released
Okay.
over
Forgot
the
that even
weekend,
existed.
came out. It #1, 81 million grossing over the past weekend. It on IMDb, it's got an average 7.1 score. So, obviously, people weren't as upset as I expected them to be. #2 was Despicable Me in its third week at $24 million. Inside Out 2 in its 6th week hit 3rd in the box office, making $13 million, pushing that grossing number to about $600 million in the US. Number 4 is Long Legs in its 2nd week in the box office, did $12 million. Number 5, A Quiet Place Day 1, 4th week in, did $6.3 million. Shout out to Bad Boys Ride or Die at 7, because it's 7th
It's
week
still
in the box
holding
office.
on.
It's still holding on to the top 10. $2.7
Well,
million. It I'm impressed. Fly Me to the Moon is number 6. Number 8 is a movie called Bad News. Maxine is number 9, and The Bike Riders is number 10. Couple big movies this week, or one big movie and another that actually looks pretty fun. Obviously, this week is Deadpool and Wolverine, which we will be doing our normal preview a little later in the show, as well as a movie called The Fabulous Four, which includes actors with like Susan Sarandon and Bette Midler. It said it's
I'm fucking sorry. What?
Yeah. It tells the story of two friends who travel to be bridesmaid in surprise wedding of their college girlfriends. Yeah. Susan Sarandon, Bette Midler. I've seen the trailer. It looks fucking hilarious. It looks so funny.
Just a bunch of older ladies doing what they want to do.
Yeah, it looks terrific. No bullshit. Whenever it comes out on like a streaming platform, I'm probably gonna watch it. Dave's trying to figure out what to say to that. Also, a movie called The Beast Within is coming out. It's a horror movie. It stars Kit Harington.
But he should be busy making Black Knight stuff.
Should be. After a series of strange events leads her to question her family's isolated life on a fortified compound in the English wilds, 10-year-old Willow follows her parents on one of their secret late-night treks into the heart of the forest. It looks like it's a horror movie about werewolves?
Ew.
I don't know. I just know Kit Harington is in it. You bastard Jon Snow. But yeah. No Jesus movies this weekend. So yeah. I wonder how that other one did. I didn't see.
The Disciples or whatever it was called.
Oh. Yeah, I don't know. Do you remember what it was called, Dave? That Disciples of whatever? Disciples of Moonlight.
Oh, okay. That rings
3.3 out of 10. No, I'm not rating this movie. Opening weekend did 300. It top grossing in the worldwide $592,000.
Hang on. A 3.3 out of 10 is like dropping trow on your wedding night, and your wife going, "Is that all you brought?"
Really, for real. What up, Wookie?
Oh God, that's
yeah, less than 600 million. Or I'm sorry, less than 600,000. Because it only released in the United States and Canada.
United States, Canada, Mexico, Panama. Sorry. I love the Animaniacs. Always have.
Oh, so great. So
the continuation series, because it's not a reboot. From what I've seen, also isn't terrible. But they brought back basically the same writing staff, the same animators, etc. So, you know. Take your box office and go home. I mean,
where am
you know.
I?
Wait, I'm not home. Guys, I'm worried.
Oh,
If I'm not home, I don't know where I'm at.
I'm sitting here trying to figure out why the fuck I'm hearing like a trailer or whatever was put in the Showtime chat just started playing in my ear. I was like, what the fuck am I hearing right now?
We are
That's
not ready for you
funny.
yet. It is not your time yet.
We are not ready for you yet. But we are ready for Bree. Give us your movie review.
Un momento, por favor.
Wookie out here looking at those numbers for that movie and goes, "You bring shame to your family."
Howdy, y'all. Ew.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
Wait.
I'm not joining the Cowboy Hat Brigade.
Well, he's a fedora.
Fedora is the
to
original
say
traditional cowboy hat, to
Yeah.
be fair.
But yeah, this week I am going to review. I'm sorry.
Please, I was gonna say don't.
This week my movie review is for Twisters, which it's a big, dumb disaster movie. It's a lot of fun. It has a lot of fun characters. Every woman who went and saw this movie, lives were changed after leaving. Or that, yes. It finds a way to like honor the original movie, like with like little lines or little like specific things within the movie that if you've seen the original, it's like, oh, that's from the original, but it's not like, it's not.
At any point did they say we got cows?
No.
Damn.
That's my favorite scene from the whole movie.
I was kind of
look, there goes another cow. Bill Paxton. Actually,
no, it's the same one.
I think that was the same one.
There is a line in the trailer, so this isn't a spoiler, but there is a line similar where it's like, we got twins.
Yeah, twins.
But yeah, so I felt like it did a really good job of standing out as its own thing while also like paying tribute to what did come before. Like even Bill Paxton's son has a cameo in the movie, and it's not like, if you don't know that that's his son, it doesn't take you out of the movie. It's not like announced as a cameo, because there's like movies where it's like a cameo where like it's very obvious that that's a cameo, even if you can't tell who that's supposed to be. This one, it's just he plays a character.
I'm looking at you, Shrek.
I was thinking Uncharted when Tom Holland pops up on the beach and you see Nolan North on the beach. I was like, okay, that's definitely a cameo.
That's right. That was a great movie. They did a really good job.
I saw Uncharted, but I never knew what Nolan North looked like. I knew he voiced the guy in Uncharted. I know he's a very prolific voice actor, but he's a voice actor. I don't look at his face ever.
He's in Pretty Little Liars. That's how I knew who he was.
Yeah.
But what else? The special effects for the tornadoes are really good. Like they looked good for the time in the original one, but this is like that you could definitely tell that with age and like with more technology coming out, that they're able to make them bigger and better and more disastrous. And don't go into this movie expecting like perfect science. Like there's definitely a bunch of little like bullshit science that they throw in there just to try to make sense of whatever's going on, but it's not a big part of the movie. You're still able to have a lot of fun. I don't know shit about tornadoes, so I'm not sitting there like, that's wrong.
I know all kinds of stuff about tornadoes. That's the first weather shit we learned when I was in school.
Yeah, I was gonna say.
But I live in a part of the country where we got to deal with that shit.
Dave's like, tornadoes are a regular fucking occurrence.
Yeah, no. Welcome to the part of the country where I live, where we get tornadoes, which by all accounts are much scarier than hurricanes, because hurricanes are water and a little wind, and tornadoes... Oh, you didn't want to move? Too bad. Your house is over fucking there now.
Okay, so as someone who lives in a place where hurricanes are frequent, they are a lot more than water and just a little wind.
Well, right, but like...
Last one, I was out of power for 2 weeks, bro. Like...
Right, but when was the last time you heard of a hurricane relocating an entire neighborhood down the street about 3 miles?
Actually, the last one we had took out most of the
'cause of
houses
flooding?
that are on the shoreline, because I live on like the edge of the ocean. So like all of that.
That's called the coast.
Well, yeah. You know what I mean. All right.
I live on the
like,
edge of the ocean.
Well, not to be too exactly specific, but like,
right.
I live.
You're
in
edging.
Northeast,
It's fine.
So, yeah. Edgelords unite.
That means something else.
I know. But yeah. So I have absolutely seen hurricanes completely relocate people's houses if they were next to the water, like clearing out shit and flooding. Yeah. It's not great, but hurricanes comparative to like absolutely a tornado would just be like, what if we take Bikini Bottom and move it someplace else?
Somewhere else.
Yeah, and tornadoes do that shit. Dude, I had a friend who lived in a trailer park it's super cliche, but trailer parks tend to be the most affected by hurricanes because it's a fucking trailer. It's not bolted into the ground like a regular house is, right?
Yeah.
Nobody said your name, Zach, but I did now. But no, and like every time the tornado sirens would go off, he would have a panic attack, regardless of where he was. And like he didn't live in a trailer anymore, but when he was a kid, he was so afraid that they were just gonna pick up and relocate his whole fucking like. So tornado sirens to this day give him panic attacks.
Oh yeah.
And he's a 30-something-year-old dude.
So my biggest thing, Edgelord's Beacon, yeah. Look fantasy. Fair. But like the biggest thing with Twisters that I'm curious about to see in the future is if it has the same effect that the original movie had in '96, where we saw a lot more people go into the realm of meteorology because people became super interested in storms. So I wonder if we're going to see the same. They are like the weather.
The science behind them is cool.
Fascinating as fuck. Yeah. So
there are characters within the movie that like that is like their profession. That is what. So if anybody like sees this movie, I mean, we've had a lot of disaster films since the original one came out, so I don't know if it'll have the same effect.
The thing I think the original did was instead of it being, oh, it's just a disaster, there was like the idea that they were trying to learn how to make it a better system. Like they were trying to put Dorothy into the tornado, so this way they can learn how to have better response times and how to calculate
better predictive indexes, etc.
There was science and like good intentions behind it, to where like a movie like The Day After Tomorrow or San Andreas or Armageddon 2012, like those are just disaster movies.
Yeah, because I don't think Armageddon made people want to be deep oil drillers, because that's who saved the world in that movie.
Yeah, I don't think this one's as much of a just disaster movie as something like San Andreas. This is it's a very small town thing. Like the movie takes place in Oklahoma, so it only really affects within the movie Oklahoma.
Yeah. Does it follow the same structure that the original does?
To a certain extent, there are some things where it's like there's certain characters that you think are going to be the bad guy and they're not. There's really Cookie. Go okay.
Cookie's like, nah, here's my ass. That's a cat thing.
They change the beginning, so you know how like in the original, I think it starts off with like the main character's dad getting sucked up into a tornado.
Yeah, Joe's dad gets ripped out of their fucking tornado shelter.
Yeah,
I'm going to interrupt you for a second before I forget this. I would like to point out that the Edgelord Beacon is like the bat signal, except it features like an orphan, rogue. Wait, no, it is just the bat signal. Okay, carry on.
The bat signal.
What was I saying?
I'm so sorry, Bree.
You're fine.
I couldn't hear you over the inside of my head screaming to make the joke, which is why
So yeah, so this one,
So the first one started with Joe's dad getting sucked up in a
Oh, yeah.
tornado.
this one, it does the same. It doesn't do the same exact thing, but it does. It like starts and hits the ground running, and it's like there are moments of less stress, but like there's so much just disasters and people's houses going, and just it is just you are stressed out for most of this movie, especially if you get a kick out of the characters. And this is the second weekend movie in a row where Kiernan Shipka makes an appearance in a movie, but not for long enough. Because she appears in Long Legs for like 5 seconds, and then she appears in the nope, you are not getting on my keyboard. And then she appears
But
in
I
this
want to
movie
poop
for
on.
a very little bit. So yeah, but if you like the original, I think you'll get a kick out of this one. My mom loves the original, and she's not a fan of remakes, sequels, any of that, and she had a really good time with this movie. But that might have had something to do with the fact that Glenn Powell is one sexy cowboy.
Yes. Yeah, I can't deny that. Smash.
But what did it for me?
I'd be
what did it
lying.
for me, everybody else in the theater, he walks out of a house in a cowboy hat, white shirt, it's raining, whatever. I think that's in the trailer. No, there's a scene where he is in a flannel and a backwards cap, and I was like, yep, that's what does it for me. Sexy cowboy.
Everybody
Yeah,
else wants to see him as a cowboy. Our girl Bree, she has lumberjack fantasies.
She just wants him to be a fucking frat boy.
Or a frat boy, I guess.
Hey, what do you do? I work at Barstool. I think we broke her.
Probably.
No,
There
that's
she goes.
am I back?
Yeah,
You're
back.
back.
My Wi-Fi.
Hey, it's not me
My
for
Wi-Fi
once.
glitched.
Well,
like half a
your front. We can't see your back.
God, get out.
How about now?
Yep, you're back.
Anyway,
Thank you
Oh
for
my
your
God.
commitment to stupid humor.
yes, we appreciate you giving your all for the bit. So
And now
we
I show my ass.
bang. Look at it, love it. So we have some trailers that we gonna talk about. And then
Oh God.
I'm excited for one. I have opinions for the other.
yes.
Do since just to play all the video shit at once, do we want to start with my review?
Which review? Oh no, we can wait on that. That's totally
Okay.
fine.
Just they're all in the same tab structure.
Oh, it's fine. We have official trailer for Beetlejuice.
I'm
Which
sorry,
I-
it's pronounced Betelgeuse.
It's not.
No, I know. But the star
Definitely.
is.
Yeah, but we're talking about Michael Keaton.
That's pronounced Michael Keaton. You got it right the second time.
Anyway. Yeah.
I know. I'm doing it. Shut up.
None of us said anything, Dave.
No, but you thought it very loudly.
I didn't think shit, bro. Get out of my head, Dave.
No. It's so cozy and small in here.
I don't know if that's an insult or what.
No, you're just a not very big person.
That's fair. I thought you were saying I had a small head.
And much like a cat or Agent 47, if I fits, I sits.
Or Agent 47. I understand that reference very easily, too.
Is that a box I'll fit into? I'm going to go in that box. Ninja. All right. So this is the official trailer 2 for Beetlejuice. Before we watch it, I have a confession. I still need to watch the first one.
Oh, we'll have to do that.
I think I've seen it, but I don't remember watching it.
I love that fucking movie.
Were you drunk?
No, I was probably like 6.
Oh.
Well, and considering it's spooky season,
No, it's not.
it's any day after fucking July 4th is spooky season, Dave. Back me up, Bree.
Uh-huh. Yep, because we're in Summerween right now.
Yeah, motherfucker. The
Okay,
horror
what are you
fans are like, the horror fans are like, nah, it's always spooky season, motherfucker.
Mhm. Like I told Chris I think it was last night, I was talking to him, I was like, yeah, I fall asleep to horror movies in a sense every night.
Y'all didn't hear that, did you?
Would you
No.
fart?
Oh God, so much. I stood up and then immediately it's like, hey, bro.
Hey, watch this.
No basement flooding.
No basement flooding today. But ask me about the secret 4th hole. That should have been our title.
It should have been. It'll be in post. It'll be our...
Alleged mom.
When you're all driving carpool and banging your Pilates instructors to fill the empty voids in your life, we'll see who gets the last laugh.
God damn.
Why is she just Wednesday again?
I feel like she's just Jenna Ortega.
Fair.
My mom grew up here, that old house on the hill.
Wait, the ghost house? Is your mom Lydia Dietz?
Unfortunately,
She's a legend.
The living, the dead, can they coexist?
Now's my chance.
ghosts aren't real. Only gullible people believe that kind of crap.
I can't believe I'm doing this. Beetlejuice, Beetlejuice, Beetlejuice. I need you to help me save my daughter. But how do I know that you're gonna keep your word?
I swear on my dead mother's soul. Yays. Bob, you and the boys stand guard. Nobody gets through. Let's go, honey.
Recognize this puss.
Never seen that chick before in my life. Or afterlife.
Are you doing this?
Beetlejuice, Beetlejuice, Beetlejuice. I'm needed upstairs. Bob, hold down the fort. Spill your guts. Who wants to go first? All right, I will. See, I'm willing to do the work.
Where the afterlife is so random.
Do that thing from my dream. Really more nightmare material.
Confronting the unknown, conquering your fears. There's nothing harder.
What the f? Thank you all for coming to this special occasion, but right now with like a little privacy.
Okay, I'm here for this. I'm here for every little fucking second of this. Yeah, that's right, Wookie. Don't tell Harry.
So a couple of things. I think I might have accidentally reinvented Beetlejuice, but as a chaotic good person. Because the bomb thing that he did with the chalk and most of the other quasi-magical shit that you see him do is all shit Constantine does.
You need to watch more movies because you reinvent a lot of shit that already exists that you just haven't seen. Very
Yeah.
frequently, I might add. It happens all the time.
Yeah. Hey, so I have an idea for this game where the world's made of blocks, and you're a dude named Steve.
Minecraft, the movie. What's Minecraft? Fuck you.
They're coming out with one starring Jack Black.
That's right. I heard about that. I'm excited. I'm excited.
What do you mean
for-
you heard about that? That was huge news. We talked about it here
Did we?
on the show.
I'm gonna be honest, Dave. I've had a lot of head injuries, so
You know
sometimes-
the Jack
sometimes
Black,
we forget this
Jason
shit.
Momoa Happy Birthday Minecraft thing they did for the 15-year Minecraft anniversary that we showed here?
Did we? Was I here?
That
No,
might have been on
you
Game
are.
Gremlins. That might have been with
No.
my other family.
The paint water.
My two families. No, it looks cool. I need to see the first one.
I'm excited. Tim Burton's my favorite director of all
Foliada.
time. I have high hopes. Oh, Cookie, please remove your claws from my shoulder. Thank you.
Next up, we have some DC stuff to talk about. Joker 2, or well, I'm not even gonna try to pronounce that.
Would you like me to help as the, I believe,
Only I
only
do.
person here who speaks any French?
I mean, I spoke French for like 8 years, but that was also when I was younger, and I don't remember really.
Folie
trying.
à deux.
You are fun.
Thank you.
Folie
Anyway, yeah, we have a new
Uh,
Joker trailer.
Which Folie à deux means the madness of two.
Yeah. We're gonna.
It is
Okay.
also a, I believe, old name for a mental illness involving a psychosis involving two intimately connected people. So like two people kind of lose their minds and start believing and thinking the same incorrect things are happening that aren't.
Right.
Which makes sense because, well, trailer.
2 years ago, the name Arthur Fleck hit Gotham like a hurricane.
The trial of the century. They believe Arthur Fleck to be some kind of martyr. Well, he's not. There's a monster.
When I first saw Joker, when I saw you, for once in my life, I didn't feel so alone anymore.
How about you, Arthur? Do you still think you're a star?
Showtime.
You can do anything you want. You're Joker.
Look around! Look at all these people! I will not allow any of you to keep me down!
I got the sneaking suspicion that we're not giving the people what they want.
It's okay, baby. Let's give the people what they want.
So I really wanted to like the first one because I like Joaquin Phoenix. I did not like the first one at all.
I
But
don't like
I-
Joaquin Phoenix. I liked the first one.
I will say that if you're gonna pick someone for this version of the movie to play Harley Quinn, I feel like Lady Gaga is the best option.
No, incorrect. Everything about Harley Quinn is wrong to a point that the fan base surrounding Harley Quinn is going to rage at this movie and kill the franchise. Myself included, Brie included. This is the worst version of Harley Quinn I have ever fucking seen. And I realized they wanted to change her to match the feel of Joaquin's portrayal of the Joker. But the thing is, she's not supposed to be a balance for the Joker. She's supposed to be his antithesis. They don't like each other. They need each other. That is the dynamic of that relationship, and that is the only way it works. Which drives Harley to become more than she was.
I love Lady Gaga. She's a fantastic actress. I've heard good things about her in American Horror Story. She was fantastic in A Star Is Born. When I look at her, I don't see Harley Quinn. All I see is Lady Gaga. And she's not doing the voice. The voice is essential to Harley Quinn, and she's not doing it. And I don't know if that was a her decision. I don't know if that was a Todd Phillips decision. I don't know.
It's probably a she can't do a New York accent decision.
She's from New York, Dave.
Uh-huh.
She is from the Bronx.
Yep, that's fine. That doesn't mean she can do the Bronx accent. I know people from the Bronx who sound exactly like me and don't sound like they're from New York at all, just because of mainstream media, mostly.
So,
because most people in
Nick,
media talk like me.
I agree with you that Suicide Squad was awful, but I disagree that they screwed up Harley Quinn, because I feel like the best part of that was Margot Robbie's portrayal of Harley Quinn. You know, like, if anything, there's a reason they gave
I
her
liked
multiple
the Suicide
movies.
Squad movies and Birds of Prey. I liked Margot Robbie's portrayal of
Birds
Harley
of Prey
Quinn.
was great.
And
this is coming from someone from myself who doesn't like DC. So, like, I agree that the first one, I didn't like the first Suicide Squad movie, but yeah, no, she crushed it. As she arguably is the only redeeming factor for the first fucking Suicide Squad movie.
I would say at least give Will Smith his credit for that movie as well.
Will Smith did do a great
oh yeah,
job
no, Will Smith as Deadshot was incredible.
Yeah,
I
Will
liked
Smith did a great job.
fucking
Cara Delevingne
Jai
did a pretty good
Courtney
job in
is
the movie,
Captain
too.
Boomerang.
Yeah, say Jai Courtney did a good job. That movie,
Like, I
the problem
think they
was
got
the
the
writing.
casting great.
And
The
direction.
writing for the first one was really weak, and then they cut a bunch of the stuff that actually made the movie make sense in
Which is
editing,
a lot of the Joker shit, which is why the Joker's character, because again, Jared Leto didn't do a bad job as the Joker. They failed him and with the writing and with the actual editing of that movie. Because he said 90% of the stuff he had recorded that he had filmed was removed from the fucking movie.
right.
So
Right, so there's a whole bunch of shit there.
that movie
my
could have been
favorite
great.
portrayal of Harley Quinn recently is actually from the game that just came out recently, the Suicide Squad game, which we'll get into that a little bit later. But yeah, no, this is the... Is this the worst version of Harley Quinn? Yeah, this is the worst version of Harley Quinn.
Until I see the movie, I'm gonna hold out hope that something.
I'm not,
this is
because
just
I don't
trailer.
like Lady Gaga as an actress. Yeah, she did fine in A Star Is Born, but she's over dramatic. But that's her whole deal through her
She's
whole
the
singing
Madonna
career.
of our generation.
Yeah,
Like that's
you know who else can't act their way out of a paper bag, in my opinion? Madonna.
Madonna. Yeah, no. She was good in A League of Their Own, but that was it.
Oh yeah,
She okay, but to be fair, she barely had a part in The League of Their Own.
Well, so it's
See, the thing is, I think Leto could be a great Joker if they styled the Joker more like,
the Suicide Squad comics.
Well, no. Even if they had done, because the Harley Quinn they use is directly based on the Harley Quinn from Batman the Animated Series from the 90s. You know how I know that? Because that was the first appearance of Harley Quinn. She wasn't in the comics first. So they should have used that version of the Joker modernized, which is super easy to do. Covering him in tattoos is not how to do that.
No.
Well, I thought they did the New 52 version in the Suicide Squad where she jumps into the pit, and then that's how she, and because in the original show she just paints herself white.
Pretty sure that's how it went.
That's how it went in the original. After she lost her mind, the Joker put her in the pit.
Right.
In the cartoon, which is the same thing that happened in the movie. Mm-hmm. That's also her New 52 storyline.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah, the second Suicide Squad movie was great. They did a great job with that.
You want to know what my and I get so much hell for this, but you know what my two least favorite things about the Suicide Squad was?
What, that they killed off Flula Borg like right away?
No, that's fine. Fuck Flula. I don't care.
Love Flula, bro. I love Flula Borg.
They killed off Captain Boomerang right away.
Yes.
Who is an amazing fucking character, and they had an amazing casting for him, and they never gave him a fucking chance with a good script.
Right.
1. 2, I fucking hate the Peacemaker.
Dude, I love it because it's John Cena, and he does such a great job.
See, and I could I respect John Cena. I think he's a good actor. But like the character of the Peacemaker, like in the comics, I hate the Peacemaker. It has nothing to do with the acting, the writing. He is done absolutely correctly. He's just one of my least favorite DC characters.
Well, and his character in itself he's not a great guy.
Right.
Like, Peacemaker is like Homelander, but like way more chill.
No. Peacemaker is Homelander, but from Texas.
You know what? That's real. That's true. That's true.
But yeah, he's shitty. I hate the Peacemaker. He's a good inclusion in the movie. It works. The writing's all good. I just hate that character.
The Peacemaker show was great too. Speaking
I
of
heard.
things that
I never watched it because I hate the character. You know who I would love to see a show about?
Who?
Rick Flag.
That would be interesting.
Dead.
Do what?
Well, he's dead.
You don't know much about DC, do you?
Well, I mean, at the end of the Suicide Squad, he literally gets shot and killed.
Yeah.
Yep.
They kill him off.
Yep. And Amanda Waller and Argus are affiliated with Cadmus, who does all the cloning of everybody, and she has backups of all of her main people.
That's sounds like some DC shit.
That's where the fuck do you think Superboy came from? Cadmus Industries. Under the supervision of Amanda fucking Waller.
First Bill Paxton. Yeah, no, this is a thing. This is a thing. We'll give Dave the pass on Bill Paxton.
No. But Rick Flag being dead doesn't mean shit if he's working for Argus. Right. Because Argus folks die all the goddamn time, and they get resurrected either via Lazarus Pit, which some of the technology they use to make their cloning viable is technology derived from the Lazarus Pits, which is what Ra's al Ghul used to live thousands of fucking years.
Oh yeah, that's what he used to bring Jason Todd back in.
That's also what they used to bring Jason Todd back. That is correct. It also tends to make people go crazy. It's also highly featured in Legends of Tomorrow because they brought back the one gal who died in
I always forget about
Arrow. What, Chris?
I said I always forget about Legends of Tomorrow.
It wasn't bad for like the first 2 seasons, and then I didn't really watch it.
That's not even a question. It's clearly Marvel until James Gunn starts putting out or helping to put out more like streamlined shit to the DC universe. Marvel's future is way brighter.
Yeah, about that. Go ahead, Bree.
I forgot to mention something. The actor who's going to play Superman in the DC movie was in Twisters. He does a good job, so I have faith for this version of Superman.
Well, it's funny that you mentioned the Marvel, because a lot of hate has gone around the internet recently, really unwarranted, because it was announced that the Russo brothers will be directing the next 2 Avengers movies.
They're in talks to do it. It has not been confirmed yet.
They're looking like the likely people to spearhead those 2 projects, though. Yeah. Primarily because of all of the people kind of vying for that position, they have a workable track record of success.
They've directed 4 films for Marvel, 2 of them being Infinity War and Endgame, as well as Captain America the Winter Soldier and Captain America Civil War. I don't see an issue with this at all. I don't know why people are freaking the fuck out.
I talked a little bit about this in our comics property because tab on Discord. It's the comments that I've seen about people that have been mad. Some people have said give somebody else a chance, and while I agree everybody deserves a chance to direct their first big movie.
No. Time out.
And Secret Wars. You need someone who has proven that they can do it.
Chris, I got a question. It's game time at the buzzer. Your star player goes down, right? You got 5 seconds left on the clock. Are you going to put in the rookie, or are you going to put in the guy who has consistently put up good numbers for you all season?
Yeah, I'm going reliable. Always hand the hot hand, the most reliable. And I get it. I get it. But the idea that just being like, oh, give everyone else a chance. It's like, sure. But like, that's not how the real world works, and you have to earn your opportunities.
For Avengers 5, it's Secret Wars. If this was like a smaller project, sure. But these, in the current lineup of what we're going to get, these are the 2 biggest movies on the schedule.
These are absolutely the 2 biggest movies.
If you want, well, I've heard that Sam Raimi was interested in doing Fantastic Four.
I'm in. I love Sam Raimi though.
Dudes, so the thing with Gunn is Gunn has a lot of work to do to rebuild faith with the DC fan base, which I'm a fan of some DC stuff and some Marvel stuff. My biggest problem with DC is the movies of late have been shit, but their cartoon programming, like through the 90s and noughties, was fucking incredible. And even now.
Look at Harley Quinn is such a widely beloved show.
I love the Harley Quinn show. I don't like the portrayal of King Shark.
I love King Shark.
I love King Shark. I just wish they'd made him a different character, because that's not King. But they fuck up Bane the same way. Bane is a super smart dude. King Shark is a super smart dude.
I love the mixture of the like Dark Knight Rises version of Bane with the original like Tim Burton 90s Bane.
It wasn't Tim Burton. It was
who directed the one with Bane?
Oh, I can't remember. He directed
Batman Forever, right?
Yeah. He directed Batman Forever and Batman and Robin. I just can't remember his name right now.
Oh, Joel Schumacher.
Joel Schumacher, thank you.
But
I knew I'd feel dumb as soon as you said it.
They took those 2 versions and combined them, and I think it was done because that show was supposed to be a comedy. It is very much so supposed to be a comedy, and they bill it like that. DC shows, I mean, even Titans, Doom Patrol, like their shows are good.
Titans was terrible. Titans was absolutely. Anybody who knows anything about the actual Teen Titans, Titans was dog shit. They did everybody dirty. Fuck that show.
I watched the first season. I enjoyed a portion of it, but then there was other things that I was like, ugh.
but like here's my thing with this whole, like, I get the griping, but at the end of the day, the Russo brothers have proven, not only in that but in other movies that they've done, um that their ability to direct and tell a great story is top tier. And if I'm Marvel Studios and I know my two biggest storyline movies need like a director that can get the job done, I'm calling the guys that did the last two massive Avengers movies.
And did a
Another
fantastic
comment.
job, I might
Because
add.
the biggest part is the Secret Wars comics line, and Dave, you can back me up on this because you've also read it, is such a vastly different and bigger undertaking than the Infinity War saga because there are so many moving parts.
And it's a lot more convoluted. Because
Yes.
Secret Wars is an event that spans multiple books across multiple issues.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
And they need someone who can explain that in about 2.5 to 3 hours in a movie.
Unless they make a second movie. Which I don't see how it would be beneficial. I think the idea would be cool, but again, that would be drowning out, not really drawing on a story, but doing it in like a 2.5 to 3 hour span. It's really going to highlight the most important parts of Secret Wars, which
Right.
the
Like
thing
they do
with
with
the thing with
Civil War.
Marvel, right? Well, and like the biggest thing with Marvel is they give you the important parts of the story, but like they're also building from other projects to complete that story. So it
Right.
all makes sense to where that's and listen, I get it. People have done nothing but complain about everything post Infinity War and post Endgame, and
time out. I have to address this question. So Nick asks, what are the chances that Deadpool and Wolverine flops?
You got a better chance
0.01.
You have a better chance of Passion of the Christ being released back into theaters and becoming the #1 box office movie in the world than you do seeing Deadpool and Wolverine flop. It is
for a couple of reasons. One, Ryan Reynolds. Ryan Reynolds would have to commit a crime against babies or something.
Yeah, and even then,
like,
you might still go see it.
Right.
Like flopping at the box
number two,
office or like critics wise.
Huge jacked man. No, box office. Huge jacked man. Also, I'm sorry, for a 50-plus-year-old dude, that man is fucking yoked.
Oh yeah,
he can still get it.
Oh, he absolutely can still get it. Also, with the rumors that Blake Lively is Lady Deadpool, which again makes the most fucking sense on the planet.
If it's not Ryan Reynolds with like fake rubber tits,
it has to be his wife. If it's not Ryan Reynolds,
if it's not Ryan Reynolds, it's his wife, so he can make out with himself.
Oh yeah.
Someone did ask Ryan Reynolds, "Hey, are you playing Lady Deadpool?" And he was like, "No, but wouldn't that be hilarious?"
I'm in. We are getting Dogpool, which is amazing. We're getting a bunch of Deadpool variants, which I'm down for. Yeah, listen.
But I don't want to hear nothing about it.
I was gonna say we will get to Deadpool and Wolverine in a little bit, but yeah, overall, I think everyone needs to chill the fuck out because the Russo brothers are gonna crush. Especially when Dave and I become right after those movies, like we've been saying for this entire time of what's gonna happen. Yes, Bree, you're waiting so patiently.
I've also seen people try to say, because this is something that people have been doing for a bunch of movies in the MCU recently, where a movie will come out, everybody will rave about it, say it's great, and then 6 months down the line, they're trying to say it's dog shit. Like, people are like, oh, Endgame was terrible, Endgame was awful, like, and I'm like, what movie did y'all see? Because they did the same thing with Spider-Man No Way Home. That movie came out, everybody loved it. 6 months down the line, everybody's like, that movie wasn't even all that.
No Way Home had a few problems in their story structure.
Yeah.
But I liked it.
Yeah.
Also, I can't think of a good way to clean up the problems in their story structure without completely rewriting the movie. So,
right.
They get a pass on that one.
Here's what I'm really noticing, right? Everything up to Endgame was for the casual fan. Everything post Endgame is for comic book fans.
Well, yeah, that's why they're going towards more traditional costumes.
Yeah. Everything
Phase 4 and beyond, we've seen more traditional costumes across the board.
Which is why there's a lot of people who are like, everything since Endgame is shit and I won't watch. It's like, don't, because they're not pandering to the normal people anymore. Everything that's entirely to do with Secret Wars is a love letter to the comic book fans who have been loyal.
And shit, even starting
all
the
for that
franchise with Iron Man, who is, yes, now everybody knows Iron Man, but back then nobody knew who Iron Man was. You had to be a comic reader, or you had to watch
you had to be a comic reader and a tech nerd.
Yeah, and
to give a shit about Iron Man back in the day.
If you ask any like Marvel comic fan who they were going to start with, most of them probably would not have said Iron Man.
It would have been Hulk or Thor or one of or Spider-Man, the more well-known, but they started with Iron Man, and that movie was awesome.
That movie was awesome.
Actually, you want to know who my guess would have been?
I would have started with Captain America, personally.
I would have started with either A, Captain America, or B, S.H.I.E.L.D. Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D.
If they had done
if you start with the Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. storyline,
you could have tied
which is its own comic and has been for decades.
Yeah.
Nick Fury, Agent of S.H.I.E.L.D. would have been the comic.
Right.
They would have started with. And I think that would have been another good jumping off point because it's another dude who doesn't have fucking powers.
Right. He's just a badass.
I mean, he's Samuel L. Jackson. Well, now he's Samuel L. Jackson because they drew him as Samuel L. Jackson. And he was like, hey, I won't sue you if you cast me as Nick Fury and if you ever do a live-action movie.
Okay. So, white dude Nick Fury back in the day with the, like darkish hair with, like, the gray streak.
Let's be real.
He was... My understanding is he was intended to look like a cross between J.K. Simmons and Harrison Ford.
That tracks. I can see that.
Yeah.
I can see that. But I immediately, when I look
now
at
they're
white
both
guy,
in the
white guy
MCU.
Nick Fury, I'm like, that's J.K. Simmons. Yeah. But all we're asking everyone is just, if you're going to go see anything Marvel, please just go in with an open mind. Don't go in thinking, well, this isn't going to be as good as Endgame, or, well, I heard this sucks. The only way you can form your own opinion is by going in with an open mind and just being present for the experience of the movie. Because
and remember,
it's going to be Endgame. It doesn't.
And remember,
it's not possible.
Without the almost 2 decades of content leading up to Endgame, Endgame would have sucked.
Yeah.
You have to build. That's why Marvel does things in phases, because
because you have to.
It's tick and talk, right? Like you can't just go from climax to climax.
Right. Because that doesn't make a good film. You need a story. You need the build up. And Marvel has always been the best at such long-term storytelling.
But the problem is mainstream media has so geared people towards instant gratification. Not mainstream media, modern media, excuse me. TikTok, YouTube Shorts, Instagram, whatever the fuck, stories, yada, yada, yada. People want everything. They want it right now. They don't want to wait for anything. And fuck that. I want good content, not shovelware.
Correct.
We don't want fast food. We want good food.
Well, we want fast food that's good, but no, it really is.
Everything that Zack Snyder did wrong was not doing the fucking proper setup and not playing the long game. That was 100% the problem with the DCEU.
Yeah.
DCEU got started in the same year that the Avengers started, which that was what, the 5th? Yeah, it was like the 5th movie in the franchise, and then Man of Steel came out in 2012, and they tried to rush it to catch up.
And well, that's really also the other thing, is everything was so rushed. There was no definitive attempt at trying to gather a coherent story that was going to work out in their favor. Once fucking Justice League came out, I was like, there it is. That's the dagger. That's the dagger. Dude, honestly, Nick, if I'm gonna be real,
hate
I think
everything about every portrayal of
DCEU
Superman in the
bad.
DCEU. Because
I love Henry Cavill, but I can't with it.
Well, and you have to, in order to have a character like Superman, you have to spend time making that character human. Because if you don't, he should just be Homelander. That's how that works. Basically.
And I enjoy a lot of the movies in the DCEU, but I can also at the same time recognize that there are a lot of problems if you view them as interconnecting stories. Like, I enjoyed Man of Steel. I just thought it was too damn long. It felt like it was never going to end. And then we get Batman v Superman, which was awful. Then we got
the best live action writing for any Superman character was 100% the first 2 seasons of Smallville.
I agree.
Because he was just he was just farm boy. And guess what? Yeah. Adult Clark Kent still got that farm boy, help your neighbor mentality. That's why he became Superman. And unless Superman has that mentality and actively goes out of his way to be friendly and nice to people, even if they don't necessarily deserve it, he's not Superman.
Right. He might as well, like you said, be Homelander. They might as well just make an adult version of the movie Brightburn.
Right.
But yeah, no, I'll hop off of my soapbox on there. Bree, we do have an update, it looks like, for Blade.
So it's not really, it's kind of an update. Somebody was interviewing Kevin Feige and they were asking for like updates on Blade and like if we're going to see him again before the Blade movie comes out. And all Kevin Feige really had to say was that they are waiting until this movie is perfect to even get started on it, to release it. They don't want to just rush something out to have it out and just be like...
It sounds like a lot of the script stuff is still under review because they're trying to make it good. Because A, it has to stand up to the Wesley Snipes Blade movies. I love all 3 of those movies.
They're all great.
The worst movie of those 3 is the first one. The best movie of those 3 is the second one. What?
That's fair.
I was like, because the consensus I get from like online is that the third is the worst, the second is the best, the first is really good.
See, and I honestly, if I had to pick a favorite out of all of them, the third one is my favorite.
Is it Ryan Reynolds?
It's a lot of different things. I just love that. I like that movie.
Oh, like, I like that movie too.
Genuinely enjoy that movie.
I feel like the storyline for Blade 3 is rushed.
Yes.
Which is probably why it's not my favorite. Blade 2 has Ron Perlman in it.
It does have Ron Perlman in it.
War never changes. And I love Ron Perlman.
Hellboy, isn't it?
He also played in the first 2 Hellboy movies, also what I like to call the good Hellboy movies. I haven't seen the one with David Harbour yet. I've heard mixed things. I'm going to see it for myself. There is also the Hellboy movie that we do not speak of. What?
That's the right mindset to have. Go into a movie, form your own opinion, and don't base it off of what others say.
I couldn't watch all of the third Hellboy movie, the first reboot, because it was that bad. I don't even remember anything about what was going on in it, other than the whole time I'm like, this is not good. I'm glad it didn't kill the franchise. There are also 3 really good Hellboy cartoon movies or animated movies.
Yeah.
I would love to see that character expanded on more. I'm excited to see Keanu Reeves reprise his role as John Constantine.
I'm excited that he's actually being brought in as John Constantine.
Oh, they wouldn't bring in anybody else.
You can't. I mean, the Constantine was a great movie.
I'm also excited to see if he winds up in Elseworlds or if they make him mainline canon in the DCEU. Because that means we, A, might see more of him, and B, might get Justice League Dark, which is the coolest version of the Justice League. They fight ghosts and demons.
I mean, listen, I'm just more excited that
and Batman hangs out with them sometimes.
Our favorite, just awesome uncle is, which is what I consider Keanu for everyone. He's just everyone's awesome uncle. He's gonna be in Sonic the Hedgehog 3 as Shadow. So like Keanu's just chilling everywhere.
I see. Okay. I respect his decision to play Shadow. Shadow is the worst fucking character in the entire goddamn franchise, and I'm even including all the ones that turned a bunch of kids I grew up with into furries.
Yep.
Everybody wanted to fuck Amy.
Yep, they did. Yep,
they did. Like, I don't know how else to say that.
It's the same thing everybody wants to fuck Lola Bunny.
Everyone did.
I didn't want to do that either.
Space Jam. Most people who grew up with Space Jam wanted to fuck Lola Bunny.
I did not. I've never been attracted to cartoons or animals, so that's kind of a double whammy for me.
I mean, I wanted
that's
to
fair.
Fuck Kovu from The Lion King 2. That was one sexy line.
Oh my god. Bree, why do you say things on the internet that can be clipped and used against you?
Because content.
Because content. That's fair. I mean, you do every once in a while consult your demons. Best clip ever. I think it's.
We don't have that command.
No, we don't. But I think the fact that they're trying to make sure that Blade is done right is important, because you don't want to take such an iconic movie or iconic character, because let's be real, Wesley Snipes was the shit when he was playing Blade. This was pre-tax evasion Wesley Snipes.
Right. The Blade movies. Fucking Demolition Man was amazing.
Demolition Man.
I love Demolition. He doesn't know how to use the 3 shells. You know who else doesn't know how to use the 3 shells? Fucking any of us. They never explain it in the movie because the writers couldn't figure out how to use them. They just thought it was a funny fucking gag to put in.
That is true.
I'm gonna be honest. The only movie outside of Blade that I've seen Wesley Snipes in is called Dear Wong Fu, Thank You for Everything, where he plays a drag queen.
That tracks. He's been in a lot of movies. New Jack City was great.
Drag queen.
Yeah, he's done a lot of stuff.
No, I bet he'd make a fabulous drag queen.
Probably.
It also has Patrick Swayze and John Leguizamo as drag queen.
Yes, I have seen that movie. It's fucking terrific.
Is RuPaul in the movie?
No, not that. Maybe, yes. I think he's at the beginning. I think RuPaul is at the beginning.
Okay. I was going to say, because he is the eponymous drag queen.
Yes.
I think. It's been a while since I've watched it.
So, this is the part of the show where we will warn you. If you do not want anything spoiler-ish or anything like that before you go into Deadpool and Wolverine, we are warning you now. We are going to be talking about some stuff for the preview of this movie. So, you have been warned. If there's anything that spoils that actually does happen, we are sorry. We are just giving a preview, our overall predictions and such. I haven't looked at any spoilers, Bree, so like you can bring your anxiety from 85 to 4.
Oh yeah, no. I have
take a breath.
I have basically wired my brain where if I see the word Deadpool, Wolverine, or Marvel anywhere in media right now, I just skip it.
Yeah.
I've muted those words on TikTok, Instagram, and Twitter, and I'm still getting them.
But I just want to make it clear that we're gonna be predicting what happens. and we're going to be talking about stuff that is confirmed. So just be warned. But let's watch the trailer again, and then we will go into our preview.
I told you, you're not welcome here. You're not welcome anywhere. Now get the fuck out of my bar.
Just give me one more drink and then I'll leave.
Hi, Peanut. I'm gonna need you to come with me right now.
Look, lady, I'm not interested.
All right.
Look, lady.
Tick, so upsy daisy. Here we go. Oh, whiskey dick of the claws. It's quite common in Wolverines over 40.
You don't want this.
Unless you want to take a deep breath through your fucking forehead, I suggest you reconsider. I'm about to lose everything that I've ever cared about.
Peter!
Not my fucking problem.
Is that what you said when your world went to shit?
So immediately confirmed that there has been some sort of incursion.
Yeah, I would also like to point out that you see the fog and the field of reeds.
Yeah.
This is an afterlife scene. Those are that is probably a line of gravestones, not for the people he lost, but other versions of Wolverine.
Of him. Yeah.
And the reason I think that is they all have, and I'm aware the spacing's wrong, but they all have these, what look like the exact same pattern that he put on the Statue of Liberty's thing in X2.
Yeah. Yeah.
Come again.
Also, can we talk about comic accurate fucking Wolverine?
Oh, it's so good.
Oh!
Want to talk about what's haunting you, or should we wait for a third act flashback?
Go fuck yourself.
So I love how Disney did not hold back on the R rating.
You can't hold back on Deadpool. It doesn't.
They also promised they wouldn't. I would like to point out one problem with the comic accurate costume.
What?
Is it the sleeves?
No. It's actually the gauntlets.
Right.
Because in the comics, the blades come out of the back of his hand.
Yeah.
But in the movie, they come out from between his knuckles.
Yeah.
So what the fuck are these three little things on the back of his hand for now? Because they were for his claws.
Unless it's knuckle protection.
But you do. Trust me, kid, I'm no hero.
Also, the gold guns.
You were the X-Man.
Hugh Jackman got a fat ass. I'm sorry.
Yeah, he does.
I am soaking wet right now.
BBL.
Okay.
Wait a minute. Hang on. I missed that the first time. They extend them down the front.
Yep.
Okay. So those extend down between the knuckles. That makes sense, I guess.
Oh.
Is that
Professor X's sister? That has been confirmed as who
that has been confirmed?
Is.
Okay.
Yep.
Boys are so silly.
This is what I'm talking about. Big slow motion action.
Stock pool.
It's so cute.
You live or die.
She looks so annoyed with Wolverine while he's trying to fight her. She's like, you know better than this shit.
Let's fucking go.
Let's fucking go.
Sling ring
So-
portal.
I know where they are.
I
I
do
know
too.
exactly where they are.
They're gonna go see Loki.
Yup.
Say hi to Loki. That's Goliath right there.
Or that's more stuff I'm gonna have to explain to my mother because we watched through all the X-Men movies. We watched The Greatest Showman. She doesn't feel like sitting through two seasons of Loki.
Well, then your mom
So
is
I
dumb.
will have to explain all of that to her.
Or
Oh,
don't.
you will, because that is 100% Goliath.
Yeah.
This is a
You see
dead
the CGI.
Ant-Man.
Yeah.
And it would make sense that Deadpool is using the timeless space at the end of the universe as a way to jump between different universes.
Yeah.
Because they all shared this space.
Right.
Which means you could technically sling ring here from anywhere and
But
to anywhere.
The question is, does Deadpool have a sling ring? Or
Probably.
is Doctor Strange helping him?
No. Deadpool, okay.
But they might have edited it out.
I was going to say, I'm betting Deadpool has a sling ring because he's notorious for stealing tech and gear from other heroes.
Yes.
He stole a teleporter he stole a teleporter from Mr. Fantastic. He's stolen Time Machine from Cable. He steals jets from Tony Stark all the time.
Yeah.
He just takes shit from people and he just uses it. But to be fair, Deadpool has one of the most complex minds in the Marvel Universe canonically.
Right.
He's immune to psychics because when psychics try to do shit with him, they tend to lose their fucking minds.
Yeah, and the problem with all the voices in his head is they all bicker all the time.
Uh-huh.
None of them get along.
And he has the willpower to deal with it. He was infected with the Carnage symbiote once, and the Carnage symbiote was like, "You're mine," as he attached to him, and then Deadpool's like, "No, welcome to the party." And then just had Carnage powers and kept doing Deadpool shit. I'm not stuck here with you. You're stuck in here with us. Sort of shit.
Yeah.
Want to do some cocaine?
Hey, cocaine is the one thing that Feige said is off limits.
What about Bolivian marching powder?
They know all the slang terms. They have a list.
Even snowboarding?
Even disco dust.
White girl interrupted?
Even forest bump.
Do you want to build a snowman?
Yes.
I can't.
Oh my god. All right,
I know
so
it tend to be a channel that's really
Stop. I'm really excited. That was my first time watching that trailer. I noticed Goliath.
Yeah, same. I haven't noticed Goliath at all before, but now I'm glad I did because now a lot of things are going to start making sense. And again, with that giant Ant-Man, that could also tie Quantumania into this somehow.
Oh, I guarantee you it does not.
I looked up a list.
That's the
'cause
giant
I was
Ant-Man from
trying-
Marvel Zombies.
Oh shit, it is.
Yeah. You're welcome.
When I was trying to make sure my mom was like caught up on everything, so I looked up a list of movies that are like required viewings before you see Deadpool and Wolverine, and it's all of the X-Men movies up to Days of Future Past. Anything past that, no, other than Deadpool, Deadpool 2, and Logan. And then I saw Infinity War, Endgame, and Loki season 1 and 2 were all required viewings before Infinity War and Endgame, just so you can get a sense of like what's going on in the MCU at that certain point in time.
Oh, I don't know if you're aware, but this movie in the timeline sits immediately after the end of Loki season 2.
I would assume so.
So it's much earlier in the timeline than a lot of the stuff we're currently looking at.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
At least from what I've seen.
How the fuck did I not notice Goliath?
Dude, I didn't either. But this may be an updated trailer because they also changed the Captain America trailer to remove a particular scene because of recent events.
Correct. Yeah, true.
Well, because there's like 2 full trailers, and then there's a bunch of little snippet kind of trailers that has like new footage that I have not seen. I refuse to watch any of them. When we reacted to it the first time, it was the first trailer that came out. This is the second one, like the second official full trailer.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So it has new footage in it.
Yeah, but that scene was there. Oh, but they might have edited Eliath's purple glow out.
Right.
In the first trailer. Because that sling ring scene I thought was in the first trailer.
It was. I don't think Charles Xavier's sister was in the first trailer. Because it definitely was more focused on like Deadpool's aspect versus this one is more focused on Logan's aspect of the movie.
The movie looks cool. Go watch it. Or don't. You're bird.
No, go watch it.
I can't talk.
I don't care.
I can't talk today.
We will wait 2 weeks like normal before we even talk
and
about
that's if we get a
movie.
chance to see it in that time, because theaters are going to be real fucking crowded for this one, and your boy doesn't do well around strangers.
That's why I said
Dave's going to be.
I'm allergic to crowds. They make me break out in violence.
Dude, Sunday morning showtimes are the best. Because, like, no one's at the movie.
No, they're not, because morning showtimes means I have to be awake in the morning.
How early are morning showtimes there? Because earliest for me in my area is like...
Is like what?
Earliest down here is like 11.
Yeah, those are usually our early showtimes on Sundays.
Yeah, that's A, early as shit. B, there are some theaters that open at 9 here. Homie, I don't get up till like 2 or 3 in the afternoon.
Yes,
right.
Bree.
That's what I'm saying, Bree.
Yes.
See, this is one of those movies I do kind of want a crowded theater because I want an audience reaction like or an audience experience like I had with things like Endgame and No Way Home. I want
agree.
a crowded theater for this kind of movie because this is the only time that I'm not going to complain about.
Oh, no, because people are filthy and made of germs and sickness, and I cannot. I can't. If someone touches me, I lose my shit. I'm not even kidding.
Well, let's get you a bubble.
We'll put you in a
Make you bubble boy.
But then if somebody pops his bubble, he's going to end their life.
Yes.
Yeah, but then you
with
get
extreme
more
prejudice.
You get more content that way.
Did you know it takes 6 days to drown a man via waterboarding?
You know, that's not surprising.
Tony almost figured that out.
None of us are surprised by that, I don't think.
Anyway, Bree over there having a rave.
Do we think this triggers a bigger incursion?
Probably.
It's okay. It's hard to say because if they're following comics cosmology, not necessarily.
Right.
But based on the cosmology, it looks like they're setting up quite possibly. Because they are structured different, right?
Yeah.
Well,
because the only way to get to that area, if we all remember, was to be pruned. So...
No, that is not the only way to get to that area. You can get there via a time door.
Right. But other than that...
Well, so the thing is, the TVA doesn't use magic. They're all tech.
Right.
But because that place is timeless, it exists in all timelines and through all time always.
Yeah.
That means it is directly connected to every moment on every universe, which means you could very conceivably just get there via sling ring if you knew where you were going.
Right. Or unless you're Wade and you just kind of like Jack Sparrow your way through everything.
Oh, no. Unless you're Wade and have one of the best superpowers of all of them, the ability to peer through the fourth wall and know that you are entertainment for other people, peek ahead a few pages, see where you're supposed to go, and just go there.
Right.
Which has happened multiple times in the comics, by the way. I can't remember who he was after, but he was after someone and trying to figure out where they were. And so you see a pane with him gone. And throughout the rest of it, you see like footprints or like him climbing across the panels of the comic to the scene. Right. And then he's back in the next panel. He's like, okay, I know where to go. And then he just goes right there because he peaked.
Right. Well,
kind of like the same idea as what She-Hulk did at the end of that, where she climbed out of the
right.
Yeah, same idea.
Onto the home screen.
That was terrific.
Yeah, no, that was good.
Just right out through the Disney Plus home screen. It's like, all right, I see you, Jen. I can tell you, we won't see a Kang appearance.
God damn it!
Is it too soon? It's still a little funny.
I don't know. You remember I told you that Donald Glover made that joke made a joke at the BET Awards about it. I don't know if it's too soon anymore.
See, okay, the thing is, Donald Glover doesn't care if it's too soon, and he has proven that time and time again.
Yeah, he does not give a fuck. How long before we see Donald Glover in the Prowler uniform?
We're never going to see it.
We saw it for a split second in. It's been a year. It's not a spoiler anymore, right?
Just say his chest.
You see him in the outfit in Across the Spider-Verse.
You do, but you also see him in Spider-Man: Homecoming. Donald Glover playing. No, not in costume, but he plays the character that becomes Prowler. So,
I haven't seen Across the Spider-Verse yet, have I?
That's why I was.
Wait, isn't that the one with Lady Doc Ock?
That's the first one. That's Into the Spider-Verse.
Yeah.
Yeah, I haven't seen the second one yet. I should
one's really good.
correct that.
The second one's real good.
See, because I was sitting here, I was like, "Is that a spoiler? It's been a year."
Oh yeah, no, it's been out a year. It's fine.
You'll have to forgive Bree. She has been on edge for like at least 2 days.
Because I don't like spoiling.
Bree, you shouldn't edge for that long.
Even if it's like, even if it's been a while, I still hate spoiling things for people. And I know people that are like, "No, I want you to spoil it for me," and I'm like, "Why? That's weird."
I'm usually that way if it's something.
Hey, chat. I'm not, like, Snape killed Dumbledore.
Oh my God!
And Vader is Luke's father. That's my girl.
How dare you? And it turns out that the pants weren't actually magic, and the middle sister dies. I just spoiled Sisterhood of the Traveling Pants for everyone.
Hey, Chris, just give me some soup.
I ain't gonna give you no soup.
Just give me some soup.
I ain't gonna give you no soup. Dave's like,
no soup for you.
No soup, one ya.
See, those are two entirely different things. I'm willing to bet money.
Yes.
Because I was thinking of the soup Nazi from Seinfeld when you said that.
And we were quoting iCarly.
Like, my manager gets soup every day, and I want to make that fucking reference to her, but she just looks at me like, "What are you talking about?"
See, that's why you need me in the behind you.
People always look at me like, "What are you talking about?" That's one of the best things about being me.
That is Dave.
Especially when I make my SpongeBob references. Some people will get like the more, like if I'm like chocolate, they got it. But if I make my more obscure ones, they're just like, "What are you?"
Yeah.
You just
like one time I was like, "Is this the crab?
What are they selling?"
Crab?
No,
like,
this is Patrick.
Is this the Krusty Krab? No.
No, this is Patrick.
Is this the Krusty Krab?
No, this is Patrick.
Stop calling me.
Stupid Krusty Krab.
Or the one I'm like,
Patrick, you're at the Krusty Krab.
What are they selling? You just can't wait for me to die, can you?
What are they selling? Chocolate.
This sweet.
I remember when they first.
Can we take
I always
a little
hated it.
break.
Yeah.
Okay. Dave has a potty.
Okay.
Okay.
And
I'm
I'm
not entertain the class.
SpongeBob at each
I'm
other.
not smoked enough for this.
Do you want us to entertain the class while you go potty and we can then start our music segment?
Yeah. Do you want to do music first? Or do you want to do this last clip first? I'm really excited to show it to people.
We could do the last clip. Whatever works for you, man. I know you got to go potty. So. Bree, we get it. You vape. I'm kidding. I do it to all my friends. Like, we get it. You fucking vape. Oh my god.
I don't have to work tomorrow.
Oh Jesus Christ. Oh god, Bree's about to go to Marth.
Hey, these are not as bad as the other ones.
So you're not going to be like drooling?
I never drool. Don't tell them that. I just kind of go in and out of consciousness sometimes.
Dude,
and you're just like, hey.
another. Yeah, I'm looking at you like, are you fucking okay?
And I'm just like, huh? What'd you say? Nothing, Bree. Nothing at all.
Nothing. This bitch just took a whole ass one.
It's $7.50.
I would die.
Shit, I took 2 the other night because I took one, waited 3 hours, nothing happened, so I took another one.
What were you saying about drooling?
Shut up. There's a hole in my lip. It fell out.
Ugh, I know. I still have Gandalf the Grey's pipe that I haven't smoked out of.
You haven't? I'm surprised at you.
Oh, I've tried to. It just didn't work. But Dave gave me a remedy. For anyone who hasn't seen it, I literally bought. Here, I'll show.
Because he's a nerd.
I am. This is the nerdiest shit I've ever bought. It is a 1-to-1 replica of Gandalf the Grey's pipe. Look how fucking awesome this thing is. Like,
what is the nerdiest thing I've ever bought? I have a lot of nerdy things.
It's so cool.
Instead of trying to move my laptop around, let's just do it this way so y'all can just see my problem. I have more Funko Pops over there. There's more over there. I have a Harley Quinn poster here, over there, over there. I have a problem. And then something I do hope shows up tomorrow for no reason at all, just because the song's on the soundtrack. I want to see my wife looking just like this. My mom was like, we're really watching The Greatest Showman just because the song is on the soundtrack. I said, yes. I want to see my wife. And I want to see Zac Efron and Hugh Jackman. That was a very sexy cast.
It was a very sexy cast. There we go. Now I set it up. I just had to add like the screen and stuff because this is a deep bowl. And you don't want to fill a whole bowl because that's like too much.
Oh, this reminds me. I do have to update my X-Men ranking because I just watched all of them up to Days of Future Past, and I had never seen X2 before. I realized that watching it, and now I have to update that ranking.
So I honestly have never been a huge like X-Men fan. I never got into them.
Yeah. I've seen all of them. Now I love certain aspects of it. Like Mystique has always been my favorite, and my mom was like, "Why do you like her so much?" I said, "Because that's a bad bitch. Because that is a bad bitch. I love her.
Bad bitch."
I also love Rogue and Storm. And then while we're watching it, she was like, she kept pointing at James McAvoy, like, who's that supposed to be? And I'm like, oh, that's young Professor X. She's like, why is he walking? And I'm like, you'll find out. She's like, why does he have hair? And I'm like, because he's not bald yet. She's like, okay. But then she thought she said that Michael Fassbender was very, very attractive. So she was all into Magneto.
Well,
Young
he
Magneto.
is. Let's not pretend that he's not.
That's another very sexy cast because James McAvoy.
Oh my god. James McAvoy just about anything.
He's about later this year. He has a new movie coming out. It's a horror movie, and I don't exactly know what kind of character he's playing. It's just a crazy one. But he looked good. He looked good. I like.
Oh
it
yes,
crazy.
I've seen stuff from that. That looks like a good movie. What is it called again? I can't remember.
Speak No Evil.
That's right, dude. Shout out to James McAvoy. He was great in It Chapter 2.
He was great in Split. I loved him.
Who was? Oh, McAvoy?
James McAvoy.
All right. So, I'm going to talk a little bit about... I almost said Deadpool kills the Suicide Squad.
No, he could.
I mean, he could.
That'd be an interesting crossover movie.
If he's the only one that would work.
He'd just kill Amanda Waller. Her vitals are tied to the bombs in their necks. But so minor spoiler for Suicide Squad kills the Justice League. The whole premise of the game is the Suicide Squad needs to kill the Justice League. I'm not going to go into why, because the game's still relatively new. But, you know, the name of the game kind of gives that away. I feel like that's fair. We're going to watch a scene from when they kill the Flash, who is the first member of the Justice League you kill. Couple of things I want to point out.
Of the video.
The name of the video is Captain Boomerang Pisses on Flash. He doesn't actually piss on him. He tries. Let's watch and then we'll go into it. But this clip kind of shows some of the things I love about the writing, because it feels a lot more genuine than you get in a lot of superhero video games. Yeah. More genuine to the characters.
And so the Flash has expired. He saved our lives, yet we ended his. As honorable warriors,
I love the look of Harley.
Respect to this fallen hero.
Show a little class, man. Holy shit. Congratulations.
Makes sense. The gods have cursed you in every other way.
Guess you got what you want.
So Deadshot stops him from pissing on the Flash and gets a look at his dick and is super surprised. Harley Quinn just salutes it. Not Captain Boomerang, but his dick.
I have so many questions as to why they are wearing the costumes that they are wearing.
Because whoever recorded this clip had them wearing those costumes. Those are unlockable costumes, including the one Harley's wearing. I actually... Yeah. This costume that Deadshot's wearing is the only non-skin costume. This is one of his default costumes. I currently have him running around in the Wayne Tech costume because it's super cool. But so Suicide Squad Kills the Justice League is developed by Rocksteady, the same company that made Arkham Asylum, Arkham City, and Arkham Knight.
I love Arkham Asylum.
Those games are so good. The traversal mechanics in this game are top fucking tier because they all do it differently. And not just they have different animations for how they get around. They are mechanically and functionally different, requiring different combinations of different kinds of button presses to move across the world. Right. they mostly do it through gear that they've stolen from other people. And by from other people, I mean they break into the Hall of Justice and steal a bunch of gear. The only one who doesn't have gear to help with their traversal is King Shark, who just jump big. But King Shark is like the Hulk character, so that makes sense.
Right.
This game lets Rocksteady do something they didn't get to do in the Arkham trilogy. And that is character development. Because all of these characters are interacting with each other. And they all, like you see them develop. Not only starting to function better as a group, but like dealing with shit in their backstories and just kind of being better people, except Captain Boomerang. Well, so of these guys, Captain Boomerang is the only one who isn't kind of an anti-hero, because Deadshot isn't a villain, he's a mercenary.
Right.
And an assassin. But that doesn't necessarily make him a bad guy. He's just doing what he knows to make money. Harley Quinn becomes an anti-hero in her own right. King Shark is a demigod who doesn't really understand the surface world. And so just kind of does shit because he thinks he should be allowed to. So like they're not necessarily bad people. Except Captain Boomerang.
Is it bad that I always get Deadshot and Deathstroke confused because they basically feel like the same fucking character to me?
Oh, no. They make fun of him for that in this game.
Do they?
Oh yeah. It's the writing is really good. Mechanically, it's solid, if not a little confusing. If you're trying to switch between characters, their different modes of traversal can be frustrating. So I've just been playing as Harley Quinn for everything. So Harley Quinn has a grappling hook and a drone, a la some of Batman's kit. And she can grapple off of the drone to swing in midair. But there's like a cooldown timer. Deadshot has a jetpack. He just has a jetpack. Captain Boomerang has a gauntlet that gives him access to the Speed Force.
Right.
So he zip around like Flash, kind of, but limited because it's tech and not an innate ability. There's a bunch of different guns. There's a bunch of different characters you can meet. Poison Ivy probably being one of my favorite. Because, as you all know, she died. Poison Ivy died at the end of Arkham Knight?
I think so.
But she also died once upon a time in the comics and then kind of grew again entirely as a plant person.
Didn't she die in the Harley Quinn show, too?
No.
Yes.
No?
Not that I remember.
At the end of season 3, I thought.
I don't remember her dying at all.
I could be wrong.
Close, but
yeah, so she basically reincarnates herself as a plant, but she's like a kid in this.
Yep, it's in the Harley Quinn show. She does the Joker impales her, seemingly killing her, but nature heals her and she comes back to life. I was like, I could have swore I remember that happening.
Yeah,
because
I did not remember.
That shit just happens with Poison Ivy. But yeah, she's a kid, and it's fucking hilarious because she doesn't have all of her memories, but she does have some genetic memories, so she recognizes Harley's pheromones.
I love them.
The storyline is actually not only really interesting, it is the 4th game in that series. It is directly connected to the Arkham series. Set in the same universe at the end of that timeline. Right. Like after the Arkham games. I I think it's really good. There are a lot of things I'm sure people won't like about it. Now, I'm just talking about the story. I haven't played the non-story season content stuff that they're doing with it. There are things I don't like about it because there are microtransactions and shit, none of which are required. It's basically cosmetics, think same way Fortnite does.
I've heard some people complain about some of the gameplay mechanics. Like I heard something about you have to shoot people's legs to kill them or something.
No, okay. So, the first way that you can regenerate your shield is, and the easiest way to do it is to shoot their legs, but you have to injure a thing and get it to really low health without killing it, and then you can melee it and it'll drop a shield recharge. But there are other mechanics as you go through the game, both built into weapons, etc., to recharge your shield as well. Also, I've never had to actually aim at someone's legs to get the shield recharges because there were, like I said, it actually is a more complex system than what they initially illustrate, right? I have one mission left. The only member of the Justice League who still needs to die is Superman, and I'm terrified of that fight because the Green Lantern fight sucked. The Flash fight sucked. We're not going to talk about Wonder Woman because huge story spoilers there. Cyborg is not a member of the Justice League in this, which is probably for the best because the Cyborg fight would also suck.
Yeah.
A lot. Oh God. But yeah, no, I really like it. There are some things mechanically, like I said, the traversal and switching between characters is kind of complicated, but like if you're playing with a group of friends and you're all playing different characters, you get used to how your character does traversal and it's fine. You can emote, you can actively switch between characters, you can do all sorts of shit. Honestly, at the end of the day, I think it's really well put together. If you don't like the microtransactions, don't interact with them. Like, that's in a game that doesn't require the microtransactions, and it's, like I said, primarily for shit like cosmetics. Who cares?
Right.
I think that's fine. And now, I haven't played any multiplayer. I haven't played any of the season content, so I don't really have an opinion on that. I know that you can unlock the Joker as a character by paying for him or doing this or doing that or whatever. I haven't played as the Joker. But I can also unlock the in-game currency that allows you to do X, Y, and Z just by playing in the regular like season pass thing without having to pay for the premium. I will get enough credits to do that once I hit level 46. I think I figured it out to be. I'm most of the way through the story and I think I'm level 20 something. So just playing through the game's main story will get you halfway there. I like the idea of seasonal add-on content for stuff like this because that lets you keep playing the game and experiencing new story stuff. I'm assuming it's story stuff. Without necessarily having to keep getting a new game or buying new DLC. So some people don't like it. They're like, just include it all at once. Well, you know, if it's not developed all at once, plus this gives the game longevity, yada, yada, yada.
Where's the fun in that?
So, like, there are a lot of opinions you can have about it. But in my opinion, I will always judge a game based on the core game and then judge add-on content independently. I consider that type of content add-on content because it's not the main story of the game. I loved Halo Infinite. A lot of people who played Halo Infinite hated it, but I judge Halo Infinite exclusively off of its campaign.
Yeah, which was fantastic.
People who don't like Halo Infinite love the campaign. But they really dropped the ball on multiplayer. Like, legitimately, they did. They fucked that all up.
The problem.
But that's not what I play Halo for.
Right. Well, the problem with Infinite was you released a game without releasing the multiplayer, which immediately should tell you, hey, it's probably not ready.
Now, apparently, the Forge mode in it's great.
I haven't messed with it, but I'm gonna have to go back and check it out. Because I love Forge mode.
I would love to replay through the campaign co-op because I only played it single player. I had plans to try to do it co-op at least a little bit with somebody, but at the time co-op was kind of broken, so I didn't.
Well, if you want to do it, let me know because I'm in.
Oh, okay.
I'm in.
But yeah, I have really enjoyed this game. I think the writing has been really good. I think it's been really true to the characters. Deadshot's biggest concern through the whole story is with his daughter, which is true to that character. He might not be a good person, but he tries his damnedest to be a good dad.
He loves his kid.
Captain Boomerang's kind of just a shitty person. And I love Captain Boomerang in this game. Don't get me wrong. He's just the one character who, while he gets character development and grows fond of these other people he's with, he's like, at one point, and it wasn't like a scripted thing. It was just something that happened in traversal. Like we were moving and the characters talk to each other while they're moving around the city, which is fantastic. It's set in Metropolis, which is cool too.
Right.
But he's like, hey, when all this is over, you guys think you'd want to, and Harley Quinn says, oh, I think Boomy's trying to ask us all out on a date. And he's like, no, it's not. And he starts trying to say something, and then King Shark goes, human courtship rituals are weird. And then Boomerang was like, no, I just thought maybe we could be mercenaries, knock over a bank, kill people. It's honestly, I've been having a lot of fun with it. I'm excited to kind of see where it goes. With the end of the story, but it's gotten, well, first off, so the scene we just watched is the most controversial scene that I've seen. And a lot of people got all mad about it. He was gonna pee on the guy. He didn't.
Right.
You can tell from that scene he didn't. Deadshot stopped him. And the only reason they did it is so that they could make a Captain Boomerang has a big dick joke, which I find hilarious.
Right.
And people are upset about this little thing or that little thing or whatever. But with the Suicide Squad, specifically, if it's not kind of offending everyone a little bit, it's not the Suicide Squad.
True.
Because they're villains. They're not necessarily meant to be likable all the time. Right?
Right.
Yeah, it's real cool. It's real cool. I like it. If you liked the Batman Arkham games, I would check it out. Because it's made by the same developer. Combat is totally different. Because you're not punchy fighty anymore. Everyone uses guns. Because you're not Batman, so you just fucking shoot people. It's easier.
It's Kevin Conroy's last performance as Batman, so.
Okay. And while it's Kevin Conroy's last performance as Batman, it's fucking awful.
No, don't say that.
Oh, it's... Look, But I think part of the reason it's awful is explained in the story of the game. Because none of the members of the Justice League are in their right mind. I'll put it that way. So it doesn't feel or sound like Batman, but that's because it's not really Batman. If that makes sense. So from the perspective of wanting it to be Batman and sound like Batman always has, it doesn't. What?
I'm Batman. I can't do it and it pick up on the mic. My
Batman.
mic's not strong enough. I'm Batman.
But yeah, and there are story reasons why that could be the case, so I've kind of given it a pass, but I wish he just sounded like he always did, and he doesn't. There are some weird, like, inflection shit that's going on. Some weird, like, almost sounding like he has an English accent at points, which is weird. It's like Uncanny Valley Batman's voice.
Oh, no.
Because, like, you can tell it's Batman. You can tell it's the dude who's always played Batman, but it doesn't sound like him. I can't hear you, Bree. What?
Sorry, my headphone is dying.
Yeah, I know. Same. Both of mine are dying. I'm like, shh. One of them died.
That's why I only ever have one plugged in at a time, or one in my head at a time.
Same,
I've also
but
been using
this
them since
one
like,
doesn't
June,
work.
To be fair.
Oh. It might not work because the grill might be filled with earwax. Sounds gross. It's a thing that happens.
Yeah, I definitely had to clean mine out a few times.
So take a Q-tip and scrub the grill.
With rubbing alcohol?
No, with just the Q-tip. No.
So honestly, I have used rubbing alcohol, and it's actually worked several times.
Mm-hmm.
Actually fixed
You know what the difference between your headphones and Bree's are?
What?
Mine are cheap.
Yours are water resistant.
Mine came from Target.
That's fair.
And were $20.
That's fair. Yeah, mine are definitely were more than $20.
But yeah, I have to scrape mine every couple of months. I actually have a little metal pick thing that I use.
Yeah, every once in a while
because
I clean mine out too.
I have to, so that may be the problem.
Possibly. Figure it out later.
Because like this one I couldn't hear out of 3 days ago. I had to clean it because no sound was coming from it. But yeah, no, it's cool. I recommend it. Also, if you have Prime, it's free. It might still be free. I don't know if it is. I might have caught it at the tail end.
Check now.
But yeah, it's free on Epic Games. Chris, if you end up getting it on Epic Games, I'd love to do some co-op shit in it.
Yeah, I mean, if my computer will let me do it. Because
you'll probably have to set it to the lowest settings because I have to set it to medium because it is not super well optimized. So there are some technical issues with the game. The reason I haven't streamed it is I run the game at 45 FPS because for whatever reason, when I turn VSync on, it locks the game at 45 FPS.
Oh, God.
Why? Don't know. It's still super playable. Other people complain that the game is too colorful. It's a superhero game?
Yeah, those are the people that complain about Godzilla movies having no human plotline.
Right, they're the same people who like the fucking dark, gritty fucking Justice League bullshit that fucking Zack Snyder tried to do, and part of the reason why that was so bad is he tried to make everything so dark. No, it's comics. It's supposed to be colorful.
Yeah. Also, the Justice League was never that dark of a,
Right. Well, no. I mean visually dark.
Oh, yeah. Well, I mean...
not just in story, but like visually dark.
Most of the DCEU stuff was all visually dark.
Also, there's a whole bunch of like LGBTQ related skins and stuff that they released for Pride Month that are all free, which I always think is a cool ad. Like when people take the time to do shit like that.
Right.
We love the gays. We love the gays.
But yeah, they have like 9 different flag color patterns as like colors for costumes and shit like that. It's cool. It's a nice inclusion. There's also a thing when you leave the Hall of Justice, because they were getting ready to have Justice Day when shit hit the fan. But there's kind of a banner thing as you leave that says "We're all heroes" and has the LGBTQ inclusive flag design on it. So it's got like all the I don't know. I'm not great at remembering what all the shit means. Because it's a lot to remember.
I also don't remember what everything means.
I do.
Well, we're not all as special as you, Bree.
But yeah, it's cool to talk about a thing that's a little less cool. Also very likely related to the LGBTQ community. We released a video last Saturday. It's our first time playing the Bard Files. It's the only video on our account that has a dislike. It has exactly one, and was reported for a community content violation. The nearest we can tell is that somebody was upset about Chris's character. Chris, would you like to explain who your character is?
So I play a character named Ivan. He is a professional hockey player that also happens to be gay and is married to a man named Peter.
Peter's a sweetheart.
Peter is the sweetest.
And I promise I'm not going to turn him into a vampire.
Please
as long as you keep working for us.
So a reason that I could imagine someone being upset is we discussed the fact that even as giant of a human being as Ivan is, he is a submissive man. Now, I understand the context of which, for someone who would be coming into LTN Media content, not knowing our backgrounds. I have very openly discussed that I'm a bisexual man on this channel several times. I myself am currently in a relationship with a man. Like, this is not news to anyone that's a regular here. I respect that people see that maybe what we were doing is offensive. That is absolutely the complete opposite of what we were doing. And it
would have taken one comment asking a question to find that out.
Yeah, and it upsets me a little bit in the sense that someone jumped to a conclusion that could have easily been cleared up, like Dave said, with a question or just with getting to know us as people. We are obviously very, very inclusive. That's not something we do just for publicity. We are, in general, a group of people that don't judge anyone based on anything. That's just how we operate. Like, we are not any sort of hateful people. So keep that in mind when you see content of ours like that, to which that is an opportunity for us to build characters that we feel like, and my biggest thing is, who's to say that that character is not even loosely based off of myself, or that
other
situation.
Than he's a giant.
Yeah, and I'm definitely not a giant.
If you want to know, Ivan is 6'9".
6'9", 290 pounds. I am neither of those things. If that happens to offend anyone, I'm sorry. That was never my intention. But I'm also
Chris,
not
I'm
going
gonna stop you there. Hang on. We're not apologizing for it. We're not.
That's why I was
out of context. Just about anything we do on this channel is going to be offensive to somebody.
Correct.
And that's not my problem. That's not Chris's problem, Bree's problem, Dee's problem, Danger's problem. If if someone is offended by something and wants to talk about it, we're more than happy to talk about it and figure it out. Outside of that, we're not going to change how we make content to try to make it suitable for the masses.
Right. I'm not going to, if we continue the Bard files, I will continue to use Ivan as a character because it's a character that I created and I would like to tell the story of. Again, I'm not fully apologizing, but I'm saying I don't want to upset anyone, but I'm also not going to change my own creativity and my own creative style just to not upset anyone over something that was very clearly a miscommunication. That if you watch any of our content, none of this is news.
Right.
You know, I'm in a fucking pink bedroom, you guys. Like, it's just upsetting that someone didn't want to take the time to talk to us about this, and we're all very easily accessible.
I'm not going to make that joke.
Don't, Dave. But yes, that being said, if you guys are interested in the Bard files, please go check it out. Dave worked very hard on this, and it was a trial run, and we had a fucking blast.
I also want everyone to bear in mind that this is a new type of content for us. We're going to be workshopping not only ways that the system needs to be changed through this, but also how we record, how we edit, how we do a lot of things with it. So the format will likely be kind of fluid. Until we really find something that we're like, yeah, that's how we want to present this. And one of the benefits of doing it with the Bard files, a system that's also really kind of fluid and in development, is when we move on to doing other things like Daggerheart, Dungeons and Dragons, etc.,
which is stuff
we'll
we are
kind of
practice with.
Right. We'll kind of know what the fuck we're doing.
Right, because I mean, this was really my first foray into role-playing games in a sense. Like, I'd played D&D once before, and it was so complicated that I just didn't fully get the chance to really enjoy it, to where this was a good lead-in for me to the role-playing game, like, just universe, to actually allow me to enjoy this and be creative with a character and try out new things and understand how the mechanics work. So this way, into the future, I can have a better understanding. And I hope that that's what this does for those of you that do watch that aren't familiar with D&D or role-playing games and in any of that sense. Like, but it's just upsetting that some people get upset about things that they just need context for.
But yeah, so we were basically informed that we got a community content violation without any details. Through process of elimination, we figured it would basically have to be on that video and what it was likely about. And it sucks. And hopefully moving forward, it's different. But and I'm going to say this exactly one time. No one should have to change who they are or how they express their creativity because it might offend someone else. People are allowed to be the people they are. Period.
Unless it's actively hurting someone. If it's not hurting anybody, do what you do as you please.
Well, and that's
right.
But actively hurting, doing things that actively hurt someone else aren't part of who someone is as a person.
Usually.
And if it is part of who someone is as a person, it's usually because there's some sort of psychological or emotional illness that needs to be treated, not because that's how people are wired, because we're social creatures. We're not wired to be shit to each other. We've just
it's all in conditioning and teaching. but it's sad that this is even a thing we have to talk about on the show.
But I think it's important because I think people should be allowed to be themselves. You know, and like Bree said, don't fucking hurt people. Have like a good head on your shoulders about it. Don't be a prick. But like, people are fucking people, man. You know who else is a person? Fucking Ryan Reynolds. He's just a dude.
Yeah.
You know who else is a person? The Russo brothers are just dudes. How do you think they feel seeing all this shit all over the internet about how nobody wants them to fucking do the thing? Fuck those people, man.
It's just in talks. You're like this mad about
it's
like people get
It's the point of these two men who have done things, very good things for the film industry, just getting fucking torn apart. I mean, look at...
And for no fucking reason. And they are people.
Yeah.
Please understand that even though you see someone on a screen, they're still a goddamn fucking person.
Right. Look at the perfect example, David Bowie. When he transitioned to all the Ziggy Stardust things, he was fucking crucified by people because all he wanted to do was be himself and be a little more creative with his artistry. That's
and
what
wear
we're doing.
I feel like now that is kind of his most well-known era is the Ziggy Stardust era.
Yeah.
We should be trying to build each other up, not trying to tear each other apart. Because at the end of the day, we're all people and we're all in life together.
And if we do something that offends you, that's not our intent. So please, by all means, let us know. But let us know. So we can understand what and where the problem actually is.
Nothing gets solved without communication.
Because this could be, well, and the thing is, this could be someone who's upset that you're playing a gay character and they feel misrepresented. Or this could be someone who's upset that you're playing a gay character and they don't want to see a gay character in a game.
Which that's you know, a them problem.
We don't know which it is. In either
again,
case,
we can't figure it out.
Stupid.
Unless you tell us.
But yeah, you fucking...
That being said, part 2...
There are too many people bitching without communicating. Stop it, please.
Correct. That being said, part 2 of the Bard Files will be uploaded this weekend. At its normal time slot. Saturday morning. So if you guys were enjoying it, we appreciate you. Thank you for showing us a lot of love on that. But yeah, now that the housekeeping is out of the way.
Well, I also felt it was important for our community to kind of understand what was going on with that.
Yeah.
You know, because
we had features taken away from our YouTube channel without being told what the problem was.
Yeah.
Which, first off, I don't like from a business standpoint that YouTube does that. And second, we didn't violate any like rules because we don't do that sort of stuff.
Right.
The one thing we have...
I mean, you can go find titties right now on YouTube.
Oh, easily. Easily.
That's within the rules.
Yeah. We pride ourselves at LTN.
Bree, I'm not giving you keywords. Quit asking in the chat.
Ourselves, and we don't want to be anything other than what we are. So,
Bree, your glasses are reflective. Look away.
But yes.
Oh.
Rounding out, because we've only got about 15 minutes. Let's switch to our just music in general. Songs of the week. Bree, let's start with you. Oh, Jesus Christ. Here we go.
I'm not putting on the hat for this one, Bree. Doesn't deserve it.
That's fine. That's fine. My song of the week is called Ain't No Love in Oklahoma. It is from the Twister soundtrack. I've kind of been obsessed with the entirety of this movie for the last couple, like, week-ish since I've seen it. And see, I'm a country music fan. I am starting to become a huge fan of Luke Combs, so I really, in this song, I really enjoy it.
I'm glad.
I was a little surprised when I was searching through Apple Music, and on the rock page, the Twisters soundtrack was there. And the fact that there is not a single
That's not
rock
correct.
artist on there, it's listed as country, but it's under the rock platform. And I'm like,
I was like,
not
that
one of
entire
these artists
soundtrack was
is rock.
country.
Yeah.
That entire
So
soundtrack.
somebody fucked up. So I was confused.
Oh, yeah. Not as bad as somebody fucked up at CloudStrike, but somebody did fuck up.
Right. Dave, what's your song?
My song of the week is This Means War, or Nightmare,
yeah,
or Hail to the King, or it's an Avenged Sevenfold song.
Hey, Dave, who's your honorable mention? Let's just kill two birds with one stone.
Luke Combs. No, I'm kidding. It's Avenged Sevenfold.
Hey.
Avenged Sevenfold, cool.
Yes.
Avenged Sevenfold is the perfect music to kill zombies to.
Yes.
That's why they've been on every Call of Duty Zombies soundtrack. And have been on every Call of...
Two.
To what?
They've been on 2 different Call of Duty zombie soundtracks. The rest they have not.
Nope, they were on the Black Ops 3 soundtrack as well.
So then 3. But
Yeah.
other than that, they have not been on every one. They were on only a couple.
There isn't a new zombies since 3. Oh no, Black Ops 4 I guess has zombies.
Mm-hmm.
I forgot about that. Anyway, they're perfect to kill zombies too. They're great. They're fun to listen to. Their songs have a lot of different meanings to everybody, kind of depending on your mood, I guess. And it's just kind of one of those things that you can just fucking listen to, right?
Right.
I really like them. Chris really likes them. Bree probably doesn't know who the fuck they are.
I've heard y'all mention them a bunch, but do I know who they are? No.
You know what? There's probably a few songs that I think Bree would like.
She'd probably like Nightmare, because it's got like spooky Halloween vibes the whole way through.
There's some songs on that album that I think for sure.
Yeah. But Nightmare, well, no, I'm talking the title track from that album, Nightmare itself.
I don't think she would. No, maybe, I don't know. She likes Ice Nine Kills.
She likes Ice Nine Kills, and she likes
could
horror
see it.
movie shit, and that just sounds like the opening to a horror movie. The whole song
really
is just the opening to a horror movie. Like, it's written in a weird minor key. I think it's in fucking C minor.
It's B minor.
B minor. It's weird. It's not E minor, which is the traditional minor key for not spooky shit. Yeah, it's a cool song. Hail to the King, another song I really like and can have 100 different meanings to people.
It's in B minor.
It is in B minor. Okay.
It's in or D minor. D major. I'm sorry, D major.
It's in. Whoa! How is it in D? It has a bunch of.
You know what? It is in D major because I could play it in guitar. I could play it on guitar. Yeah, that makes sense.
Okay, that it's in
You're
D
just
major
considering
with
the
a
tuning and
bunch
everything.
of minor chords in it.
Which is the most Avenged Sevenfold thing ever.
Yeah.
Compositionally, they're a mind fuck.
Dude, I was talking to my mom about Avenged Sevenfold earlier today, and she's like, I love their music. I cannot stand his voice. I'm like,
I love M Shadows.
oh, I do too. My mom doesn't. That's fine. But that type of vocal, especially with that specific brand of vocal fry he has, isn't for everybody.
Right.
But and technically their shit is crazy.
Oh yeah.
I would love to see M Shadows and Maynard
fun
get
fact,
together and do something.
Fun fact about Avenged Sevenfold: Sinister Gates, which is their lead guitarist, many people who are fans of Jeff Dunham are probably aware of his father. For those who've seen like the Christmas special or anything, Brian Hanner Sr., aka Guitar Guy, is the father of one Brian Hanner Jr., aka Sinister Gates. And actually, Guitar Guy has been on a couple songs, especially in Nightmare. No, Jeff Dunham and Guitar Guy are not related.
Maybe not.
Definitely not related. But that is...
They might joke that they are.
Yeah.
Because I definitely remember them making a joke like that in the Christmas special.
Probably.
Yeah, no, they're... I'm just saying, as far as I'm aware, they're not...
I almost started singing Jingle Bombs, and then I realized, no.
No. No.
Before we
Silence!
lose Bree completely, before we lose Bree completely, who's your music corner this week?
Bree do crimes.
My music corner is Luke Combs. And he is an American country music singer and songwriter who dropped out of college to pursue a career in music. As most do, he then moved to Nashville, where he released his debut EP, The Way She Rides, in 2014. In 2017, he released his debut album, This One's For You, which reached number 4 on the Billboard 200. His second album, What You See Is What You Get, topped the charts in multiple territories, becoming his first to do so. So far in his career, he has earned 3 Grammy Award nominations, 2 iHeartRadio Music Awards, 4 Academy of Country Music Awards, and 6 Country Music Association Awards, including the 2021 and 2022 Entertainer of the Year Award, their highest honor. Last year, he won, I believe, a bunch of Grammys not Grammys. He won a bunch of awards for a certain award show. I just can't remember right now. For his cover of a song called Fast Car, who was originally sung by, I cannot remember the name of the artist, but it was a Black queer woman, and he even brought her on stage a couple of times to do a duet with him, and he has given her all of the credit for it because he's getting all these awards for it, and he's like, yes, thank you for the awards, but this is her song, and I just brought it to more of a I brought it more to mainstream attention. So he's cool dude. He's good dude.
Tracy Chapman.
That's her name.
Song came out in 1988. I'm gonna be honest, I had never heard it before, but I hear it at work a million times because my boss blasts country music until he leaves for the day, and then I change it. It's brutal.
I'm not.
It's brutal. Super brutal. And then I change it to metal, and then everyone's like, nice.
The only country song we get to listen to is Dolly Parton 9 to 5 17 times a day.
I love Dolly, though.
I hate that song.
Oh, good song.
It is a good song. It had far too much radio play at far too many places I worked. I can't stand it.
Well, it was also written for a movie called 9 to 5.
9 to 5.
It was written for a movie, yeah.
The movie is awful, by the way.
I've never seen it.
It's not good.
It's so bad.
Well, I think it's time to round this bitch out with our musician of the week, which, as picked by Dave, is who?
It's the motherfucking Offspring or Offspring, depending on which album cover you're looking at, because they could never decide whether or not the should be in front of their name or not.
Or Manic Subsidal, which was their name from 1984 to 1986 before they changed it to the Offspring.
Right. Because it's the same group of dudes. They just went, nobody's going to remember this shit.
Terrible name. It's a bad
terrible name.
The Offspring is so much better.
It really is. Known for songs like Original Prankster, Pretty Fly for a White Guy, The Kids Aren't All Right.
You're going to go far, kid.
You're going to go far, kid. There's
what was the one you played earlier that you were like, this one's been and stuff? I know Bree knows this, and I was like, oh,
You're gonna go far, kid.
Okay.
Yeah.
I can remember. I just remembered.
I knew as
With
immediately.
1,000 eyes and a good disguise. I'm surprised the Offspring, or not the Offspring. I'm surprised Hitman hasn't used that yet. With 1,000 lies and a good disguise, hit him right between the eyes. You know what? I need to make a montage of like Hitman kills to that song.
Shout out to their lead guitarist, whose stage name is Noodles. And then, of course, Dexter Holland, who's the lead singer, who has a very voice. They have definitely been around for a long time.
At least as long as your mother.
They've won a fair amount of awards. They were nominated for a Juno, which is cool. They do not have a Grammy, which is actually surprising.
It's not really surprising. In the shit they said in their songs, and the time they were saying it was controversial on almost the same scale of Eminem, but without the notoriety.
Very true.
And the Grammys is also weird because it never goes to the. It usually doesn't go to the person that you think it's going to go to, or you think that it deserves it.
The Grammys also has this weird, like. It feels like when it comes to the rock category.
Oh, yeah.
They either tend to, it just doesn't exist for them, or
they mail it in.
They include artists that would not be considered rock.
Like Olivia Rodrigo got nominated for the rock category last year.
Which is insane. I like Olivia Rodrigo, but she has pop.
For All American Bitch, I think is the name of the song, which it has some kind of like pop punk edge to it, but she's not. It's not rock.
It's in like they completely ignore the metal category, and like a presentation portion, because if you watch the Grammys, they barely talk about anything rock.
They do the big categories.
Which to me
you
is
know what?
upsetting. Because
I have a question.
What?
Would you guys like to see us do a music award show at the end of the year?
Yeah,
because I feel like as a group, our tastes are diverse enough to actually give people a fair shake. So we'll set up nominees and find a way to let you guys vote.
Yeah.
I'm knowledgeable about doing like a movie one, but I could try to do.
Well, you cover.
Well, so I'm thinking we maybe just do a blanket award show: movies, video games, music.
Okay.
LTN awards.
Yeah.
Because like between all of us, we all have every genre covered. But between like what you don't listen to, Bree, and what Dave doesn't listen to, and D and Danger, etc., I listen to. So I'm the one that listens to everything. So like,
I would also like to point out
make it happen.
That unlike most award shows, because we are less than normal, we will not only hand out awards for the best, which we'll call something like the weirdos, but the worst, which we'll call the normies.
Style.
Yes. Because you gotta give love to the stuff that's not good.
See, that's too
And
easy.
you
for
know what?
worst movie of the year.
My
That's too
vote
easy.
already for worst game of the year, Robin Hood Sherwood Builders. That game, I played that game almost a month ago, and I'm still talking about how bad it is. It ruined my goddamn life.
That's fucking...
Is it too easy to give worst of the year to Madam Web for movies? I feel like that's just
I don't know if you can I don't know.
I don't know what can
Disciples
top
and
that.
whatever at midnight. was
I don't
probably
know.
just
M.
as
Night
bad.
Shyamalan will probably release something.
Oh, he has a new movie next week called Trap.
There we go.
That's probably
About
Shots fired.
about a father and daughter at a concert, and like the father is a serial killer, and the concert's a trap to find the serial killer, and we're watching him try to get out of the concert without getting caught.
That sounds awful.
It sounds
Like
like,
the
an M. Night
premise
Shyamalan film. That sounds
does
has-
not sound.
It has one of his daughters in it as a
You know what?
as
I'm-
a singer. It has Josh Hart.
I'm gonna call it out right now. I'm gonna call it out right now. The twist: the father isn't the serial killer. The daughter is, and he knows it.
That's my theory, but I don't know.
that sounds about right.
But yeah, that could be fun. Let us know what you think, and we'll talk about it in house a little more. It's an
Because-
idea I just had. That's usually how I tell these guys that I have ideas. I have them on the show, and I announce them live, and then everybody has to scramble to figure out whether or not it's a good thing.
Not only that, but as someone who, I mean, Bree and I both watched the BET Awards recently, and Bree definitely is our award show correspondent. We both agreed that there's a lot of shit that needs to be changed about award shows.
Oh,
And-
yeah.
They need to be as long. They need to. I don't know, because these are conflicting things. Because I'm like, they don't need to be as long, but at the same time, they need to show more awards. Because I swear during, I think it was the Grammys.
Because they're ad extravaganzas.
Yeah, that's really all they are.
That being said, if any of you want to sponsor the LTN Awards, you'll get a banner that goes somewhere on screen, and that's what you get. And maybe during intermissions when we all go pee-pee and poo-poo, like you can say something. Because it should be like 30 to 45 minutes of awards and like 5 minutes of not.
Right.
And for performances, I can sing for you. That's a terrible idea. We'd lose everyone.
Oh, no. For our performances section,
Be the first ever showing of Secret Sex Lips.
ooh, maybe. But I was thinking more we'd get clip montages from friends of the community, from like other channels, from channels that are within our network.
You know who
you know,
would be
like
cool to reach out for with that?
who?
Ari.
Ari at home? Yo, actually, yeah. You know what?
Because that feels like some shit he'd probably be like, yeah, I'm in.
Yeah, no, actually, that's not a bad idea. If because honestly, we could have Ari do like the performance bit, right? Because you kind of have to have one. It's tradition. And while I'm okay with throwing out most award show traditions, that one's kind of fun, and it lets us illustrate someone who wouldn't otherwise necessarily be shown. I actually really like that idea. And Ari's a cool fucking dude.
Dude, Zach and I were talking about him last night. I was chilling in his stream last night. Ari's someone I follow as well. We are all big fans of Ari at home. So that'd be cool if we could get him involved somehow. Even if he's on the show. Ari, if you ever see this, bro, come hang out with us on Less Than Normal. We would be so down to talk to you.
I'll post it on TikTok and tag you.
There you go.
Do it. You won't. Does Lion King do his TikTok or does he do his own? Because I know Lion King does the YouTube channel.
I don't know. That's a good question.
I'll have to ask. Because, I mean, honestly, I can be like, hey, Lion King, do you think Ari'd be down to do this thing? Because he's his editor and cuts all of his albums.
Also, Baby No Money. Here, we'll just start throwing them out. Baby No Money. If you want to get involved, bro, come hang out with us on Less Than Normal as well. Come be a part of this because we all fucking love you.
Look, Baby No Money's trying to get that bag, and we can't afford him. You know how I know he's trying to get that bag? Because he has no money.
He's also doing Smosh shit, and he's doing shit with like
Conor
Conor
Bryce. We don't have
Bryce.
Smosh money.
Yeah, we don't have Smosh money. I'd love to have Smosh money. One day, maybe.
Well, maybe.
Dave was like, well, maybe, we might get there. We might get there. But yeah.
I'm cautiously optimistic.
Shout out to The Offspring, who actually have an album coming out October 11th, which is my sister's birthday.
Nice.
It will be their 11th studio album. It'll be their first album with their newest drummer, who joined the band a couple years ago. Kid's like 29, the rest of them are like 50.
They're not 50. They're real close to 50, but I don't think they're 50 yet.
Dexter Holland is 58 years old.
Jesus.
Hey, Dave,
buddy.
Former drummer, 51. Dave. They're that
I forgot
old.
that I was almost 40. I forgot that I was almost 40. Stop talking. I forgot I was almost 40. Stop talking. Fuck you.
But you're not yet. You are not. You are still in your 30s.
I'm in my 20s because I'm young.
I'm gonna throw you off a cliff.
Banned. Don't. Dave,
dude. Okay, I had a
Don't
dream.
her with a good time.
hang on. So I had this dream, right, where I was in a bar with people I knew. I don't know who because they weren't like the key part of the dream. There was this guy harassing the bartender, and I walked up and I'm like, "Hey, man, be respectful." And he just turns and swings on me. And so I open hand slapped him across the fucking face. And he said, "Did you just fucking slap me?" And I said, "Yeah. I punch men. I slap bitches. Get the fuck out." And he didn't know what to say, so he just kind of hung his head and left.
Was this a dream or is this a memory? Like, this feels like...
I think it was a dream. It might have... It sounds like shit I would do.
It does sound just like... And you're a giant, so I feel like if you just bitch slap someone, they're going to be like, well, I don't win here. so I guess I just take it?
No, most of my bar fight stories involve someone hitting me and then realizing that they didn't get the reaction they needed and then were scared.
And then they run.
Yeah.
Oh my god. I think on that note, that's all we have time for you guys today. I think it's time to end.
Before we lose
That's
complete
control
of the story at this point. We're gonna lose
I don't know where
plot.
the story's gonna go, but I feel like there's someone about to get slapped again.
Yup, it's me. Bree, hit him with that tagline.
Until we see y'all again, keep it simple.
Oh, wait. No, hang on. I'm jumping ahead.
You skipped the entire outro.
I did.
Thank you
I
guys
was excited
so much for watching. If you aren't following us over here on Twitch, hit that follow button. So if you're seeing this on Spotify, give us a follow, as well as YouTube. Subscribe, hit that like button, ding dong the notification bell, let you know anytime we upload. If you aren't following us on our social medias, we are all of there. I need to update that to include our TikTok. If you want to check out the merch store, we've got some fun stuff over there. We will be posting this on YouTube. I should have this up by tomorrow. So if you didn't get a chance to watch this live, it's okay. There's plenty of places for you to find us.
And don't forget to bing bing the flim flam.
Yes, I don't know what that means, but I'm agreeing.
Me either.
We've been Smeckledorfed. That's not even a word, and I agree with you.
We've lost the plot.
Fucking SpongeBob, bro.
A knucklehead McSpazatron.
I'm a Goofy Goober. Rock. We're all Goofy Goobers. All right. You can hit him with the tagline, Bree.
Until we see y'all again, keep it simple, stay weird. Good night.